Some important news here. Columbia will pay $200 million to the federal government as part of a deal with the Trump administration. The deal would restore the more than $400 million in federal funding that was cut over allegations that the university failed to protect Jewish students at the height of last year's on-campus pro-Palestinian protests. Along with paying the fine, the university says it will follow the administration's policies banning DEI practices in its hiring and admissions. Columbia says it will also implement other changes aimed at countering anti-Semitism on campus. A statement from the school reads in part this: while Columbia does not admit to wrongdoing with this resolution agreement, the institution's leaders have recognized repeatedly that Jewish students and faculty have experienced painful, unacceptable incidents, and that reform was and is needed. So, Mike, this is one of those moments where two things can be true at once. Certainly, Columbia, as in that statement reads, there were plenty of Jewish students and faculty members who felt that what happened a year or so ago was unacceptable. They feared for their safety. That, of course, not okay on any campus whatsoever. That said, this is also part of a larger effort by the Trump administration, seemingly to bring these places of higher learning to heel. And some have said that they're using this anti-Semitism as a cover in order to do that. So Columbia settles, but this is far from the only fight. The Trump administration continues to target other universities, most notably Harvard.
Harvard is the great white whale. Harvard is the big one, and they're going after Harvard big time. And this is nothing more, I would think, than first of all, we're right about Jewish students on campuses. They have been abused. There's no doubt about that. And both universities mentioned here right now, Columbia and Harvard, have done a lot of work to make sure that does not happen, that cease and desist and stuff like that. But the intimidation factor is still maintained by the Trump administration. And Claire McCaskill, one of the things that seemingly gets overlooked in this back and forth between the administration and these universities, especially Harvard, now that they're in the spotlight full time, is what happens to the lack of research being done that these universities, in terms of Harvard, the Harvard School of Public Health, what happens to the research? It's come to a halt. The monies that were poured into research that helps people with all sorts of diseases going forward, cancer, everything. But this seems to be the intent of the administration, to hurt, to damage these reputations.
Yeah, if you back this up and you look at it broadly, there are really two things in the United States that were so strong in terms of our standing around the world. One was the rule of law, and the other was higher education. And Trump administration is doing permanent, lasting damage to both. And on higher education, Mike, it's not just the research money that's going away and the impact on millions of lives in terms of cures and breakthroughs in medicine and other types of science. It's also foreign students. They are on a path, the Trump administration, to try to make sure there are no foreign students in higher education in the United States of America. And I think people underestimate the power that America has enjoyed from exporting foreign graduates back to their countries, having been instilled with the American ideals of freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, relying on the rule of law. I mean, we exported our values and ideas all around the globe to some of the smartest people in the world. And those were students that were really yearning to get the best education they could. And where could they get that? In the United States of America. So people need to really take a pause here and understand, yes, we've got problems across the board with the Trump administration, but what they're doing to higher ed is really incalculable in terms of the damage it's doing to this country.
Such an important point and important conversation, one we will continue to have.